Peace. This is Firstborn, another Dark Christ memoir on the topic of speaking to the hurricane. I don't know, maybe it was like a year ago or something. Myself and 11 of my friends, making 12 of us, including my wife, we had decided to go to Myrtle Beach on a particular weekend. And as that week came up, we had our reservations and everything. It came that a hurricane was coming to the beach. It was Myrtle Beach. So that whole week prior to the weekend that we were supposed to go on the vacation, we were getting news reports of everyone to head as far inland as possible. Everyone was evacuating Myrtle Beach. I remember us getting together on a Wednesday and saying, yo, are we still planning on going? So people came and asked that, and I said, yo, nothing inside of me was speaking to me that we should alter our plans. So we all agreed, which was kind of scary to me, because for me, that's something easy for me to flow with. If I listen to my inside, if it doesn't tell me anything different, I can go more with that more than I can what any news reporter is saying. But there were 11 other people involved, and my concern was whether they were on the same page with me or not. Nonetheless, all 12 of us decided to go. So you gotta understand, we headed out there the whole weekend, and everyone is going the opposite direction. And as we go, we're moving into the wind. It's rattling our cars. We get to the hotel that night. There is a howling werewolf noise beating upon the whole hotel all night. But me, being the child that I am, when we got there and everybody got settled in, that voice that speaks moved me to go outside and go onto the beach. Now it's storming and the winds are raging, but I can't resist it for some reason. And I go out and I go onto the beach and I begin to communicate with the hurricane. Because I think something that living in this world of so much synthetic stuff, our food is synthetic, our homes are synthetic, the things we do are man created, we often forget the principle that, yo, everything is alive and everything has personality. The rocks have personality, people have personality, animals have personality, scenes and events and times, people and places, and even hurricanes and weather have personality. I'm reminded of when Yeshua in the Gospels spoke to the storm and calmed it. Anyhow, I go out to the beach and the wind is absolutely raging, almost picking me up slightly, but not that much. But I go to the beach and I look out into the horizon with all of the wind, and I begin to communicate with the hurricane in languages that only myself and the hurricane could comprehend. And at a certain point, after a moment, and this is real because one of my boys had came out to look for me, the hurricane winds absolutely ceased. And in communicating with the hurricane, I felt like we gained an understanding. I understood the purpose of the hurricane, and the hurricane understood the purpose of what I was there for with the people that were there. Now you got to understand, we were in this hotel by ourselves because everybody had pieced out. You saw buildings boarded up, but I communicated with the hurricane and the hurricane communicated with me, and I realized, yo, we're supposed to have been doing this kind of stuff. Anyways, after that understanding came, there was a brief moment where I realized that was all we had to say to each other, and the winds picked up violently. To be real, it almost picked my tail up and blew me away. So I speedily got my tail on up out of there and began to head back, where I ran into one of my boys. it was wild because the next day it was forecasted to be violent the whole weekend for everyone to go as far inland as possible. But the next day, the hurricane totally moved off of South Carolina and moved up into Virginia. And it ended up being one of the most sunniest, beautiful days ever. And I attribute all that to the 12 of us understanding that somewhere deep inside of us, we knew we needed to be there. And so in communicating with the hurricane and bringing an understanding of, yo, we're supposed to be here. We know you have a purpose. We gave each other the space through communication to operate the proper way based on the relation of what each other's purpose was. And I just put this out there because it was wild. The next day was almost a paradise on earth. We spent the whole day chilled out. We cooked for one another. We chilled with one another. We built a foundation for gathering with one another to the things we do now, like Sunday dinners and whatnot. But I saw it as something that needed to happen, as we had to go there, understanding that regardless of how things appear, through the weather, through circumstances, through the external forces, that if men or a group of people, if friends understand inside of themselves what is being spoken for them to do, then any other forces have no choice but to honor that, as man was given dominion in the earth over all forces. And he was also given the communication ability to communicate with all forces in his reality, because everything external to him, if he can understand its roots inside of him, then he can relate to those external things in a manner which allows those things to still travel and move at the purpose they have, and allow those individuals to express and connect on whatever it is at that particular time they need to bring into the earth. So I say all that speaking to that hurricane was monumental with me, and I don't believe I would have been able to have that experience if I didn't have the other 11 in their confidence in what we needed to do. Because when I was communicating, I was not communicating on my own behalf, but on the group vessel purpose of all of us united together, what we all had to do. So I spoke with one voice on behalf of 12 people. So this is another firstborn Dark Christ memoir on understanding that, hey, when we understand who we are and Spirit is speaking through us, then we have the ability to communicate with any powers or forces in a manner to allow those powers and forces to complete their task and purpose, as we, as a power, supreme power and force, and embodiment of the Creator in the earth, complete our task in relationship to those forces. So this is your boy Firstborn, another Dark Christ memoir on speaking to the hurricane. It's your boy. I'ma holler at y'all. Peace.